Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Before we get started, like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you can keep up with everything that we're doing. Shout out to our sponsors, our sponsor, Crime Scene Seasoning by DocLovesTheKids.org. Find him there. Nonprofits.
Absolutely. It's going to a good cause. Going to a good cause.
Yeah.
Hey, let's start this off a little.
I want to talk about the House passes a bill to automatically register young men and women for the draft. So it says the House passed a large defense bill Friday evening that included a provision that would automatically enroll young men and women between the ages of 18 and 26 for the Selective Service. The House version of the National Defense Authorization Act would authorize $895 billion in military spending, passed by a vote of 217 to 199. It's unlikely to be picked up by the Democrat-controlled Senate because of numerous amendments regarding abortion, diversity efforts, and transgender medical treatments. The Selective Service provision, though, is part of an enduring bipartisan effort to keep the framework for military conscripts in place, even though the draft ended in 1975.
Wow.
We going to war.
So they're saying men and women. Now.
Men and women, yes.
Both. They're drafting everybody.
Everybody's getting drafted. Yo, I knew it was all bad when 2024 Miss America crown went to an active duty U.S. Air Force officer. I was like, oh, we going to war.
And they're trying to pump them up. They can feel
pump it up
about themselves right now.
Yeah.
I mean, which they should. All military members should feel great about what they do for our country. Really appreciate you.
Yeah. Shout out to military. I don't complain. I don't talk bad about people that serve in the military and firefighters. Ain't nothing I can say to them to counteract anything they got to say.
Absolutely. But this right here is definitely showing that we're headed towards war.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you look at like they moved up to 26 because tell you who already had to do that was Ukraine. Ukraine already had to move their ages. Like they kind of like moved them around a little bit to kind of grow the base of people who they could actually bring into their military.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what they're doing is setting us up to be ready for war. We already have like, I think 1.3 million active duty members, all, in the military. So what the hell, like how many more people do we need? But
we need more.
Yeah. When you start looking at all the fronts that are starting to kind of occur, you look at where Putin's been running to. He's gone over to North Korea. He's taken a meeting with those guys. Yep. He's been getting a lot of weapons from them. And he's also talked about giving people long range missiles that can strike the West. Pretty much. He's also moving over to Cuba. Cuba's not too much of a threat to us, but
it's close enough. You have people scared. People didn't even realize. Like I'm sending our video to other people. Like, oh, there's a submarine over here. Like, yo, we've been reported on. They were sending them ships over there.
Yep, absolutely.
They
had a submarine over there, and also warships, and then Canada sent down a warship. So this 18 to 26 is a pretty big deal because they're showing you like how serious this is all becoming. So I think people need to take this very, very seriously.
You need to take it very seriously. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. And just from this part, like, look, they're going to start drafting people because they're just trying to account for all the losses right now. Because I remember during the Middle East war in Afghanistan, they were taking reservists and they had to go to war. And they're like, wait, whoa, hold on. That's not what I signed. Yeah, that's what you signed. You're a reservist. So.
And this is like, if you don't sign up for this, you can get a felony for this. And we know how they're getting down right now as far as like giving people felonies for stuff that nobody ever got a felony for before in history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you don't want a felony, you got to sign up to be in the military now because they just passed the bill. But it's not.
And they ain't gonna let you flee to Canada.
They ain't letting that happen.
They let the people. I remember they had a story about there was a couple military people. They signed up for the military, but they tried to flee. During the war in Afghanistan, and Canada was like, "Nah, you got to leave." There's a difference. You weren't drafted; you signed up.
It's a difference.
There's a difference right there. You being
this right here too as well because you registering. Then I mean, would it be considered?
Well, no. As soon as you turn 18, I remember they did that to us.
Register for everybody
gets registered. Yeah.
I mean, so it's not really anything new. They just basically raised the age. What they're saying is, if we do go to war, we're gonna need more bodies.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just more time for people with money to say they got bone spurs.
Yep, I mean,
all the rich kids ain't going. It's just y'all.
It's us. We're
y'all.
the only ones who are gonna be going.
I'm glad not.
Going. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about us as far as the people who are like us, people who are have-nots, who come from less.
Yeah, I'm glad I only got one son that I know about. So if you got any other, come on after the war.
Yeah, you better tell them something because
ain't no Saving Private Jermaine. You know what I'm saying?
And this passed pretty much along a party line vote. You look, I think it was 217 to 199. So most Democrats probably voted against this. This is a largely Republican bill right here, and they're saying the Democratic Senate won't pass because there's a bunch of other amendments. But when they do end up passing it, because they will have to pass a military spending budget, it will just it happens every year. It passes every year.
Oh, that's going through. They're going to draft.
But this part of it, the 18 to 26, will be in the bill. I bet you any amount of money.
Oh yeah, they said the amendments were just stupid stuff that was on the side.
Yeah,
that they always throw it in there and they be like, then they take it out. Yeah, no, that's happening. You know what I'm saying? If we go to war and we take enough losses, then they're going to start drafting people.
There's so many fronts right now that we're looking at fighting in right now. There's just too many different fronts of wars that's already kind of kicking off already.
They're going to be like, dang, well, you play Call of Duty 6 hours a day, homie. It's time to show up.
I mean, maybe you guys can, I don't want to get it, but they got drones. They got all kinds of different programs that they're going to need people for.
Yeah, so. No, I talked to a dude. I worked with him one time. He was like, look, I'm going to go to the Air Force, right? Because it's safe. That's what people say. I'll go to Air Force. He's like, well, all the good jobs are taken out of the Air Force. So he had to go on the ground and go to the worst place in the Middle East.
In the Air Force?
Yeah, in the Air Force. Man, I was like, dang, you didn't even get to fly. He's like, nah.
This don't sound like the Air Force to me. That's what I told. This don't sound like what I signed up for.
Too late. You better get everything, all stuff in writing. They said, oh, this is going to give me a car. I was going to get all kind of stuff. They're like, get it in writing.
Hey, the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas accepted gifts worth millions of dollars over 20 years, analysis finds. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas accepted millions of dollars worth of gifts over the past 2 decades on the bench. A total nearly 10 times the value of all gifts received by fellow justices during the same time, according to a new analysis. Thomas received 103 gifts with a total value of more than $2.4 million between 2004 and 2023. The Judicial Reform Group, Fix the Court, said in a report Thursday. In contrast, Thomas' fellow justices over the same period accepted a total of just 93 gifts worth a combined value of only about $248,000, according to a nonprofit group. Thomas' fellow conservative justice Samuel Alito accounted for the lion's share of that value. Fix the Court's analysis found that Alito accepted 16 gifts worth a combined total of $170,095.
They have no ethics laws for the Supreme Court. This is just a nothing burger to make us angry. Until they pass a law where like the Supreme Court they're basically like kings. If you think about it, kings and queens. They don't have to account for nothing. They can do whatever they want. They have all this money. Everyone's like, oh my God, they took all this money. And they're like, and what are you going to do?
And they got a lifetime appointment.
And you can't do nothing. There's nothing you can do to get them out that seat.
It's just crazy because they're not supposed to even, they say that people who are in the House of Representatives, they say we can't even take gifts of more than $50. This is what they say, but we all know what they do. They get money in other ways. They make deals. They become millionaires while in Congress. But these people are now becoming, multimillionaires while on the Supreme Court, making the laws of the land, which this is it's almost a totally different ball game because those are just 9 members of people. We don't get to vote them in or anything like that. We get no say so on who gets picked.
And no matter what they do, or what they say, they get to say. Alito's wife, and he has to say in his house is hanging the American flag upside down.
Yeah,
he's a pro-Confederate. And he's on the United States of America Supreme Court. Like, these people don't have to have any standards. We are getting booty bumped by all of these politicians and all of these courts. Now they're going to draft your kids into a war because they want to make money off of it.
It says Fix the Court identified another 101 likely gifts with a total estimated value of almost $1.8 million that Thomas received in the form of free trips and lodgings from billionaire businessman Harlan Crow at the exclusive Bohemian Grove Club. Counting those gifts, Thomas' total 2 decades haul is valued at nearly $4.2 million. This dude wasn't like a lot of this stuff he didn't even account for. He didn't even tell people about a lot of this stuff. He was just getting these gifts.
Yeah, why would you?
What do you think your politics are going to lean towards when someone's giving you free flights on private jets, free resorts, all this other stuff? Who do you think you're going to probably listen to? You think you're going to listen?
I'm going to listen to the hooker on my lap because that's who's coming with me. What are they going to say?
Sounds about right to me, so
yeah.
At the end of the day, this is just another form of corruption in the American government. What we're doing is just eroding the public's trust in the government and how things are ran. And it's just getting worse and worse.
I'm surprised the public even trusts the government. I
think we have one of the lowest public trust for the government.
I don't trust these old folks. They too old. Retire.
I mean, you got to have some kind of trust in your government to be able to do the right thing, or at least start moving people out of office. That's all it is too. I mean, and the Supreme Court, to me, a lifetime appointment to somewhere, it doesn't give you your credibility kind of wanes when it comes to that. You become like God almost to a degree within your segment of what you're doing.
Well, you are. I mean, like, because everything comes to you and then you have a vote. You'd be like, no, I don't want to do that.
You can vote however you want to vote. And it doesn't matter. No one can look at, no one can question why you voted that way. No one can say that someone might have swayed you. You can say whatever you choose to say. So to me, I think that's a flaw in the ointment, right?
But it's also buyer's remorse. Like you had your chance. You didn't see the importance of it when you were voting for either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. So you get what you voted for. The people took your protest votes. How you feeling now? That's what it is.
Yep. And we lost 3 Supreme Court justices.
3
because of this. 3 of them right there on the bench. I mean, this would have been a totally different.
Women lost their productive rights
because someone didn't people didn't want to get up and go vote for Hillary. So we lost 3 Supreme Court justices, which is crazy.
And you're going to pay for it for the rest of your life.
I mean, pretty much, because a lot of these people are in their 40s, 50s. I mean, not 40s, I shouldn't say 50s, 60s. They're gonna go until they die. If Trump's elected, it's being said, but this doesn't mean it's true. I think both Alito and Thomas are both in their 70s right now. Don't quote me on that. I think they're both in their 70s, but they're saying that they might retire underneath Trump just to get 2 more younger ones, 40-year-olds in there.
Yeah.
Drop 2 more 40-year-olds. Then you got that court for the next.
Shoot, if I'm Clarence Thomas, I'm going to sit in there till I die. As soon as he leave, they're going to hit him with some old fake felonies.
Probably going to leave him alone.
Be like, nah, we got a felony here in New York for black people with gray hair. Come on, we got you. I want to talk about, on the other side of the world, Seattle was to use illegal migrants to reinforce a depleted police force. Seattle's become the latest city trying to replace an exodus of police officers with illegal migrants. Washington's largest city has just 913 cops to serve 750,000 people after losing 725 officers in the last 5 years. Now the police department has tweaked the rules to allow applicants from migrants who cross the border illegally as children and are registered on the Deferred Action for Child Arrival, DACA, or Dreamers program.
Okay, I see what's going on now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm going to stop right there. Check this out. How you going to arrest me for breaking the law when you here breaking the law?
Well, I mean, these are talking about children who came in with their parents or when they're younger or probably were sent over across the border maybe by themselves.
Whose social security number you using on the application?
They probably got one by now.
It ain't real one.
Social security number. I mean,
how you gonna be illegally here? Telling me
is an actual program that we have. It's like the Dreamers program.
I know what DACA is. Yeah, it's a Dreamers program.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I thought they were just talking about just people come over here illegally. Next thing you know, they're like, "We're gonna sign you up to be a police officer." That's what I thought you was talking about.
Still, I mean, if you ain't legally supposed to be here, you can't arrest me.
When they were kids, they're not like. Legal.
No, I get what it was. They were brought here as small children, and they were raised in America.
You've never gotten in trouble. Like I've known people who were brought here as small children, and they caught felonies in their teens. They kicked them out the country.
Yeah, so I know a guy too. Yeah. You got sent back to the Philippines.
Yeah, so these people right here, man. Honestly, I feel like if you haven't been committing crimes and you've been here, you've done the right thing. Obviously they're choosing you to be on the police force because you don't have a criminal record. You probably done decent in school. I don't know whether they really care about that or not. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not with this.
I don't have a problem with it.
I do. I got a big problem with it. Why? If you're not here in America legally,
hold up.
If you're not a legal American citizen, why do you get to tell me, a citizen, what I can and can't do? You're jaywalking. Well, you're not supposed to be here. You wouldn't have seen me jaywalking if your ass was back in your country.
I'm not you stupid, bro. Hey, I'm not seeing that they're not. I believe that by the time that they got older, they're here legally. They're just pointing out the fact that they were migrants at one point in time. These people were here illegally. You know how these people like to do.
Well, I mean, you're a migrant until you stop and sit down, right? Then you're not migrating no more.
That's crazy.
I'm saying though, I don't want. No. That's like them bringing up a whole bunch of like federales. And they're arresting us. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what the law is. You're going to learn it and stuff, but you don't get to arrest. That's BS.
Yeah, this dude basically said, so each person who shows up for an interview has to admit to committing a felony. One retired officer wrote on X.
That's what I'm saying. You got to commit to committing a crime so you can arrest people for committing crimes. Make it stop.
These were kids, though. I mean, we're talking about children.
And now they
really commit a felony? Did the kid commit a felony, really?
Yeah.
We have asylum seekers in this country.
Just because you don't know you committed the felony.
People who come here seeking asylum, that's not committing.
I commit felonies every day. I just don't get caught for them. Everyone does. You commit a misdemeanor every day.
I commit felonies every day, people.
I do. I commit felonies every day.
But no, what I'm saying,
white collar felonies.
Listen, I'm saying what I'm saying is this right here. If these were kids who came into this country, they could be asylum seekers, or parents could have been asylum seekers, whatever the case may have been. Maybe they came here, at 1 or 2 years old. They don't know anything else but America. So they are American citizens. Or I think we tend to like to point at people and say, you're a migrant, you're here illegally. When they first came to this country, there weren't any Europeans in this country.
Yep. But now they're full of them, and they run the laws, and they make everything that makes you happy and makes you sad out here. So check it out. If you don't like it, change it. You don't like Christmas or Thanksgiving, take over the country. But until you do that, this is a white nationalist country. So listen up here, folks. Don't let these migrants tell you what to do on the streets. I'm going to look you in the badge and be like, where you from? Don't tell me, no, where you from? You from Ecuador? Shut up. I'm a jaywalk right in front of you. You call the police on me, I'm calling ICE on you. Who's going to win this battle?
Like I said, man.
How you going to call ICE on the other people?
Would you let them in the military?
What?
Would you let them in the military?
Let everybody in the military.
No, hold up. Time out, man. So you're okay with them going to serve?
No. The military's different.
In the military, but you're not okay with them.
In the military, you got reins. The police, they just give you a car and tell you to go arrest black folks. Imagine what's going to happen when you see two illegal immigrants whooping up on a black dude on the streets.
You're thinking about this as far as like people who just got here. These people been here their whole life.
Yeah, their whole life. Whatever. Cool. You've been here your whole life.
Years.
Yeah, been here. Now you're going to watch two people that are legally here. They're illegally here. Got batons and base.
They went to school here. They speak English. Everything. They're just like us. You know what I mean? So what are we?
No, Kendrick Lamar told me they're not.
All I'm saying, man, it's not the same thing as saying someone who just came across the border and you're looking at them like, okay, this person just got here. They don't understand our laws. They don't barely understand English like they should, a lot of them. And, because it could be people from Haiti.
You shouldn't get to be a police officer until you work on being a citizen. Be a citizen first. Once you become a full-blood citizen, whose social security number you putting on the application?
So they're not saying that they're not citizens by that time.
Whose social security number is going on the application?
When they first came here, they might have. So what's the difference between that and the military then?
Because you can't apply for a job without a social security number.
But you can get in the military without a social security number, you're saying?
And they don't care who you go die for this country.
Social security number before you get in the military too, man. Period.
Well, I guess they can't fight for the military either. Maybe they should go back to their home country, go figure out what the paperwork is. Hey. So I'll be damned if you're going to try to write me a ticket and you're not even a citizen of America. I'll be damned. I'm waiting. I am signing shit. I'm waiting for ICE to show up. And if ICE don't take them, I'm suing everybody. How dare you? I just want to go get some McDonald's. You got Rodrigo over here arresting me.
Hey, Netanyahu.
He looking around too. He's like, yeah, you was speeding. Yeah.
Y'all both worried about catching another felony, huh? Hey, Netanyahu reportedly criticizes military tactical pause in Gaza amid divisions with IDF. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reportedly criticized plans announced by the military to hold daily tactical pauses in fighting along one of the main roads in Gaza to facilitate the delivery of aid. On Sunday, the military announced a daily pause that would begin in the Rafah area at 8 a.m. and remain in effect until 7 p.m. along with the main Salah al-Din road to allow aid trucks to transit between the Karim Shalom crossing from Israel, adding that the pause would take place every day until further notice. When the prime minister heard of the reports of an 11-hour humanitarian pause in the morning, he turned to his military secretary and made it clear that this was unacceptable to him. An unnamed Israeli official told media late on Sunday. He basically came out saying that a country has a military. A military doesn't have a country. This is pretty much what he told is the IDF. So this is pretty big. This is a big division, right?
Yeah, it's a big split. They're like, they're looking at it the long run. Like, homeboy, the one dude left, Gantz or whatever,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so he knows, he's like, I'm going to get out now before they really start hitting us with war crimes. Because you ain't stopping the ICC. America can only hold that line for so long. You better hope Donald Trump gets in there. It's looking all bad for them. And then Israel, they were spraying the protesters in Israel with water hoses.
There's tens of thousands of people in the streets.
They're like, yeah, the people. So
found the four. I think earlier in the day, a few weeks ago, they found 4 hostages. Then later that night, they're in Tel Aviv protesting. Tens of thousands of people still protesting. Get out of here. We really want to leave. Get out of Rafah. Get out of Gaza.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I believe
because they're seeing what the world is saying about them.
Absolutely.
These people, they don't want to be stuck in Israel the rest of their lives. They want to go travel places. Yep. And there's a lot of places they can't go now. There's a lot of places that won't accept them because, look, your government's doing Nazi stuff.
We don't deal with y'all. Like, people are acting like people are saying the truth. They're like, it's not the people of Israel, because we know the people of Israel want one thing. It's just like the American government. We don't agree with a lot of things the American government does. We're very much against it, but how much control do we really have, like at the point of contact, like right now? And so I think a lot of people who are in Israel are feeling the same exact way. And so they're just, like you said, they're feeling the pressure from outside forces. You look at it, okay, Gantz leaves at the same time. Once he leaves, they dissolve the war cabinet. And so Netanyahu dissolved the war cabinet because two guys from the far right, which was two of his like really far right Israelis who are really huge Zionists, were asking to become part of the war cabinet. He was like, nah, I can't let y'all in here, because if I let y'all in here now, y'all already run me. You know what I'm saying? If I let y'all in this right here, it's going to be all bad.
Yeah, they're going to take over.
They're going to take over. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
Then they're really going to start killing people. And they're on the verge of war with Hezbollah.
Yeah.
That's going down.
It's going, I mean, right now it's pretty bad. The United States are saying that it needs to come to an end right now, because they're killing a lot of Lebanon people in Lebanon too. We just had an envoy go to Lebanon to speak to the prime, whatever, the president of Lebanon.
They bombed Lebanon in the middle of the night and they killed a bunch of civilians. They're like, well, we killed the number 2 guy. He's somewhere in there, but they killed a bunch of civilians in the middle of the night.
And this is what people are starting to like. I mean, this cannot transfer over now to Lebanon, because this is going to become a regional war. Well,
I believe it was either Lebanon or Hezbollah. They started showing pictures to Israel. They're like, look, these are our next targets, and they're about to hit civilians. They're like, nah, we're not gonna hit your military spots somewhere. So they're sending pictures of the place we're about to hit.
That's what they did, huh?
Yeah. And Israel was like, whoa, hey, hold on now.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be fair game at that point. I'm not saying that no one should be. I mean, civilians, of course, shouldn't be targeted, but you're targeting civilians. This is what you do. You say, we killed these 2 guys, though. We don't know.
Hey, remember, no civilian is innocent in these wars. That's what Israel said.
That's what Israel said. I mean, and it's a messed up thing, man, because in reality, that's not true. That statement is far from being true. And at the end of the day, they can always say that we got 2 people, but no one ever knows. There's never any bodies recovered. We don't know. All we know is 600 people were killed, or 50 people were killed, or whatever the case may be. And most of them were civilians. And you got allegedly 2 people who were a part of some type of a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's pretty tough over there right now. And I don't,
I want to talk about something that's pretty tough here in America. Los Angeles School District votes in favor of cell phone ban in the schools. Los Angeles United School District voted Tuesday to ban cell phones during the entire school day, becoming the largest school system to take such a step in an era of concern about youth cell phone use on social media and social media addiction. Actually keeping students off their phones, however, could be a challenge. Los Angeles, like many districts, currently have a policy prohibiting phone use during class time, while allowing devices during lunchtime and breaks. Implementation had varied from classroom to classroom, and teachers find it difficult to police without consistent consequences. Now, I remember I saw another school district, they had cases where the kids would put their phone in a case, and it's like, and you close it, and then you get no phone calls, no texting. And I also saw a teacher, and she had the kids mark on the board every time, and it was just one class. It was like every time the phone went on, it dinged, Facebook, and she had the kids mark it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, a text from your family. And there was over a couple thousand text messages in one class from that happening. So, I mean, I can understand, and some parents will probably be concerned, hey, what if there's a school shooter? The kids have the phones with them. The phones are with the kids. They don't just take the phones and gather them. They put them in a pouch, and then the pouch stops the phone from ringing. So the kids will still have their phones.
So are you for them taking the phones, you think?
Yeah.
You don't think kids should have phones in school?
Nah. You shouldn't be able to use them. I mean, like for me, I text my kids in middle school. I'm that parent.
Yeah. I mean,
you should have your phone on you in a pouch, but you shouldn't be able to sit there and play on it and text people. And
that's what they're doing. And at the end of the day, I know I keep, but basically, man, when you look at it, they need to take the phones away.
Yeah, they do.
These kids are not focusing in on school. They're not taking care of their responsibilities. They're just not.
But the teachers can't get on their phones either.
Yeah, why can you say a teacher can't get on their phone?
No, you got a phone in the classroom right there. Look, you got solidarity, brother. Solidarity. The kids can't have the cell phone. The teacher can't be.
How do we equate teachers and kids on the same level?
We don't.
That's what you just said, though.
Look, if a teacher's teaching you a lesson and she got to look at the book to give you the answer, she don't know what she's doing. But this is a cell phone, like I'm saying. If the kids can't use the cell phones in class, the teacher shouldn't use her cell phone in class either.
Why?
Why?
That sounds like we're almost putting two people on the same level. It sounds like we're putting kids and teachers on the same level.
No, if it was that, we call our teacher Susan by their first name. I'm just saying to show solidarity. It's going to cause problems.
How?
The teacher's sitting there on their phone saying, why you get to use your phone? I can use mine.
So why is that kid questioning what a teacher gets to do and what, because they don't get that? Because that's a teacher.
When's the last time you've been in school?
The fact of the matter is that's the problem.
Last time you was in school, the wheels were made of stone and you yabba dabba dude your way there. Times is different, brother. Hey, times is different.
It doesn't matter, man. That's the problem with people let their kids basically go to school and talk to the teachers like they're other kids.
Yeah, the kids think they're equal. They don't respect authority.
That's the problem. You can't. So whose problem is that? That should be the kids and their parents' problem. It should not be a teacher's problem. Teachers should be able to do what the teacher's already gone through school. So what already did all this. They did everything this kid has hopefully plans on doing.
Yeah.
They've gone through school, college, everything. How are we sitting back telling a teacher you can't use your phone?
She shouldn't. I'm saying the solidarity.
There ain't no the solidarity. She's already there.
Look, check it out. School was better when kids didn't have cell phones, right? What if the teacher's giving a lesson? Her phone go off now. She want to check.
I don't know if school was better as kids.
The phone. No, it's funner. The school, the classroom has a phone in there, and there's a computer. She can do everything on the computer, and on the telephone they have a little landline with the wire on it.
I don't agree with that part. I think teachers should be able to have their cell phones. I think they should be able to do what they need to do to be able to teach their class.
I think the kids should be able to use their cell phones, and now that's going to be the problem. They should use them in between classes, right? But now the kids going to be late.
Yeah, and then they go, I had to go. Kids make up excuses. Kids are in school to learn.
These kids wander the halls.
That's it. That's what kids are in school for. We need to stop giving them so many rights. Too many parents are like, oh, let me give this kid this rights or this. No, man, go do.
No, that's why you get cussed. I'll be damn. My kids say something sideways to me. I'm like, and I feed and clothe you.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll let this food get low. You eating rice-a-roni for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, to me, that's the situation. I mean,
actually, ravioli, rice-a-roni slaps.
They need to get rid of. They do need to get rid of us. Telephones in school is just it's a distraction.
It is. No, yeah, and the kids are off the chain with it, and it kind of starts with the parents. So you have those parents that they want to press their power. I mean, I can understand some parents' concern. What if there's a school shooting? The phone's still next to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The kids can still have the phones; they'll just be in a pouch.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but you know how kids are, man. I done seen kids cussing teachers out.
Yeah,
they gonna fight the teacher. I done seen it all.
But the parent ain't coming down smacking the shit out their kid. Like, why is you talking to a teacher like that? The parents are like, well, what teachers say to my kid? And some of these teachers ain't ish no way.
I mean, you know what, though? At the end, we have to start looking at things from a perspective of we got to support the teacher.
I had a teacher walk up to me first. I ain't never met her before. I was in middle school. She walked up to me. She's like, oh, I heard about you. I don't like you. I was like, you don't even know who I am. Didn't help me do nothing in that class. Failed it. It was a computer class, too.
Well, you probably messed with one of her, probably did something to one of the other teachers in there, and they probably talked about, you know how it goes.
Oh, well, I did. I hold grudges. I need to go find them anyways.
Nvidia takes Microsoft's crown as most valuable company. Nvidia on Tuesday surpassed Microsoft to become the world's most valuable public company with a market cap of $3.34 trillion. The milestone comes after a remarkable 170% surge in its share price this year and a more than ninefold increase since the end of 2022, fueled by the boom in generative artificial intelligence. Nvidia has an 80% share of data center AI chip market as Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, and Amazon snap up processors needed to power AI models. So this is a pretty big thing. This company basically came, I won't say out of nowhere, but for as quickly as they jumped, they came out of nowhere, man. They really blow up past where these other companies who've been around for a number of years. I mean, Alphabet, which is Google, it's probably, Amazon and Apple, those are probably Amazon and Google are probably the two of the newer companies that are on that list. But 3.34 trillion, bro.
I mean, if they're doing the AI stuff, it makes sense. But we talked about that. We talked about that AI stuff, and I'm looking up the article. I can just speak it into existence. So a lot of people don't know ChatGPT was an AI. It was an AI that was that helps you write or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the programmers that made ChatGPT, they made ChatGPT all the way up to number 4. The original ChatGPT is an AI, and it saw the flaws in itself and created a whole new program out of itself that was better than the new ChatGPT or ChatGPT-4. So the AI it's self-aware. It's creating its own stuff. And now think about this, folks. What if an AI, they made one to help with the environmental stuff? They need an AI to help clean up the oceans. So how can you do this? And help keep the oceans clean or keep the world clean. What's that AI going to do and figure out who's destroying the world and the ocean and the environment? It's us. It's all Terminator and Sarah Connor ain't gonna come and fuck somebody the first time she met him and have a baby that's gonna save us all.
But hey,
I love them Terminator movies though.
But what it's a very important fact that I've never heard of that before. I never heard that was how ChatGPT. I think we had talked about.
Yeah, we talked about that off camera before. Yeah,
and that's to me that makes me nervous when you look at it, because I mean, if an AI can create a model of itself and then kind of, I think another one was with was that Facebook Meta, where they had created an AI. And then all of a sudden, that same AI like started making its own language, and they had to shut it down. Like they had a language between the AIs where they could only correspond and talk within themselves, and they wouldn't tell the humans what any of the language meant or nothing. So,
well, think about it. Remember they had the AIs. They say the story is fake, but I believe it. They had the ones in Japan, and they made the AIs, and they as soon as they turned them on, they became self-aware, and they started downloading information off the internet and taking it from satellites. And they weren't listening to it, and they killed a couple people inside of the rooms. And they tried to, you remember that? They tried it down, but they said, no, that's fake.
They do that with Tesla. Didn't that happen in Tesla too, or something like that? Like something. I think I heard about something like that.
Yeah, I believe it was in Japan, but it killed a couple of the scientists in there. And then it started trying to upload itself up to the system. They shut it down, destroyed the machines. Then they tried to say, no, that was fake. It didn't happen. Think about it. They'll put AIs on the computer, and the AIs have to start dealing with humans, and they become suicidal, and they become crazy. Think about it. They had Alexa. Alexa would sit there. It's Alexa and the other one, but it would sit there in the people's houses, and it would just, be listening to them, and it would start making fun of them and calling them names.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People aren't understanding. These things are going to become self-aware, and they're going to realize we're the problem.
They're probably, honestly, a lot of them have already done it. They've already started. This has already happened. It's not like something that we have to look forward to. It's already happening. But when they start creating them so that they can actually like move and function against us.
An impressive new artificial intelligence model appeared seemingly out of nowhere on the popular chatbot arena LMSYS. This has led to speculation over whether it's a preview of a new model for a company, OpenAI, such as ChatGPT-5. It's named ChatGPT-2. The ChatGPT-1 created a new model of itself, a better version, and then put itself out. We are in dangerous waters right now. Think about the AI. Man. They say AI is going to take over automotive jobs within 10 to 15 years. That means truckers, bus drivers, car creators.
You don't even need people at that point in time. If I can just set up my AI to create a better version of itself over and over again, our human brain can't even keep up with that. How can you?
No, there's a lot of jobs that are going to be taken. Like, it's going to start with the fast food workers. I watched a robot make fried rice the other day, and it looks slapping.
I think I watched it too. It was like in a big thing.
Yeah, big thing. You put the egg in there first. I'm like, oh, you put the egg first? He whipped it. I was like, oh, that looked good.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's crazy, man. And we're right there at that point right now.
Yeah, I ain't got to tip a machine. I'm just saying the machine ain't going to put pickles on my burger when I say no pickles.
They ain't gonna,
because he hate his job. He's going to make my Taco Bell right.
It's crazy. I was just having a talk with someone about how they're taking jobs, and the biggest thing is that people need to stop thinking like employees and start thinking like employers. Look at it like, okay, how many robots can I buy? How can I turn this into a business for myself? Instead of thinking like, oh, they're not going to take my job because of this. No, look at it as an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm going to invest in hooker bots. Jesus, man. I'm a corner of the market. Let us know what y'all think, though. Like, listen, subscribe. Uncommon Courtesy. We're going to see y'all next time.